Okay, 2025, new year. Let's see what Bandai's got planned. Oh, there's a lot of information. Within the last 48 hours, Bandai has released a ton of information on a variety of different topics and platforms. Because there was so much information, like I woke up this morning and I was overstimulated with like the amount of information that released. I didn't know where to look. I was like left, right. So I'm going to use this video as like a comprehensive total of everything that was talked about like within the last 24 hours or so. Whether it was the standard usual Bandai card games update live stream that happened, which is where most of the noise comes from, or some of the other stuff that you may have seen me tweet about last night. With this, so if there's anything that I've missed at all that you want people to know about, please leave it in the comments. This is supposed to be for people to get an understanding of everything that went on. So your help is extremely important, just, you know, as me giving this out to you guys. So please, if you can, or if there's maybe updated information after this video releases, I very much welcome it. Let's go over some of the stuff that happened before the live stream. So starting it off, the Wasi made a really nice video about it. He got an exclusive reveal to talk about PSA grading, doing a new exclusive leader card in their upcoming issues. Essentially, if you're part of the pop culture subscription for the PSA magazine, the Collectors Club, the March issue is going to have this Boa Hancock on it, and that's exclusive to where it is, similar to the purple Luffy from OP05 that we saw last year. Now, I highly recommend watching Wasi Play's video because he explains a lot about it and some of the details, right? Because PSA collaborated with him on that reveal. I will link it in the description below. But just a couple quick things to mention. If you're like me and you got the Collectors Club subscription for pop culture for that PSA Luffy and your subscription is ending in May, you still qualify for this, right? Because it's coming in the March issue. Your subscription is still going to be active by the time this comes out. If you are not subscribed to the Collectors Club magazine, you need to subscribe before the end of January, so might as well do that as soon as possible. The Wasi also has a unique URL in order to sign up, so I'll also leave that in the description for you. Help support him a little bit. He's a great creator. But yeah, again, make sure to go watch his video. If you saw my tweet last night, there was also pre-orders for this new Bandai Card Games Fest official playmat, and on top of that playmat, I usually wouldn't talk about this, but it came with this OP11 card on it, Zeus. Now, before I get into the card, the pre-orders did close, so unfortunately, if you did not get it last night when you saw my tweet, or after you saw my tweet, or anybody else that was talking about it on Twitter, it's currently out of stock. It sold out so fast, and honestly, for good reason too. So this is, I think at the time that this was announced yesterday or revealed on the premium Bandai website, this was a brand new reveal. We did not know about this OP11 card until that very moment when it became public on the website for pre-order. This is a yellow 2-drop Big Bomb Pirates Homies Zeus card. It's got 2K counter on it, has an on-play effect. You may add one card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand, and you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. This card is absolutely insane. I said about it in my tweet. This is one of the best yellow 2Ks to exist. You may have seen other people talk about it online or in various Discord servers that you're in or different forums like Reddit, but this Zeus is like a better Thunderbolt, right? You remember Thunderbolt, you take out a life and you KO a character. This Zeus being a 2K counter allows you to draw a card, right? You add a life card to your hand and you get that KO. This is extremely good in stuff like Black Yellow Luffy. That's kind of the biggest name that has been attached into this. But also, I mean, we're talking about cards like Anel. Anel could probably use this, right? Very, very nice, especially if like opponents try to starve you, you know, good into the Doflamingo matchups, if Doflamingo's still around in 11. And then just the Big Mom Pirate leaders as well, like Katakuri, Charlotte Linlin, both the black yellow one and the regular starter deck yellow one. And honestly, probably, I mean, I feel like just yellow leaders in general will probably enjoy this card, but those 4 leaders, 4, right? Yeah, I talked about 4. Will love them the most, I feel like. It's also worth noting that on this, I also want to mention this for a specific shout out. If you missed out on this, do not worry. This is not going to be a card that is totally exclusive in this product on this listing, just this different art version. The OP11 code is on this card, so it's going to be a card in the main set. You may not get this version, this art of this card, but you will be able to get a playset of this probably decently easily, right? It is listed as a rare in OP11, so you're not going to get a whole playset in a booster box, but it's not going to be like $35 for a single card, right, of this. So just kind of want to make that aware as well. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the live stream, right? If you do not know, the Bandai card games pretty regularly, I would say like every couple months, have this like update video for all of their card games. I've done a little bit of research on the different things of each topic, and honestly, we'll clarify some things as well. We're going to kind of fly through these couple things a little bit. New storage boxes did get announced, Nami and Yamato coming out in February in Japan. These are not like the other storage boxes I think that they just recently had, where like you can get a specific promo card or a parallel version of the promo card. This is just storage boxes. There's also a couple sets of variety of sleeves that came out. So this is limited edition volume 3 sleeves. This is coming out on January 25th. It features Crocodile, Lin, Rebecca, and Rob Lucci. This Rob Lucci, I believe, is a repurposed art put on the like storage boxes that I just talked about. That's one of the like arts that you can get from them. But this Rebecca, man, this Rebecca and this Crocodile looks, oh my gosh, it looks so good. You've also got 2 sets of sleeve coming out on March 1st in Japan. The first one of this is volume 10. This volume 10's got a couple of the devil fruits. It's got Hiyori in that top left corner, Shanks, and then also Ace. And then this is the one that I'm really excited about, actually. These are the official store sleeves. This is edition volume 3, also coming out on March 1st. They also, I'm not really talking about it too much in here, but they did disclose that there are going to be 3 new additional official stores that are opening in 2025 in Japan. Highly recommend watching the live stream if you're curious. Maybe you're visiting Japan, or maybe some of my viewers are in Japan. I will link that live stream as well in the description below. This is a nice set of Blackbeard sleeves, which could go great on a Blackbeard deck, and then also this Straw Hat crew with Robin kind of being the premier center of it. That's what I'm really excited about, because I love Robin, if you don't know. Okay, so if you saw my tweet as well about an EB01 Brook reprint, I promise it's not bait, and I actually know the information of where this is coming from. I know I didn't actually know at first where it was coming from, but then I put it in the replies, but just to let you all know about what it is. Reminder that this is Japan only right now. We have a couple key things of where some of these things will come in English, but for this specific event that I'm talking about, I just want to mention that this is Japanese only. Japan is going to be doing like a startup promotion campaign. To my understanding, from January 18th until while supplies last, basically, if you go to stores and buy a certain amount of like PRBO1 packs, you will in exchange get this promotional pack over here. Each one of these packs comes with 1 card. We do know that in this promotional pack, there are these cards in the set. These are all reprinted versions of the cards. These are the parallel versions of the cards. In the packs, you can get like standard versions, regular versions. I didn't include them in this video because the parallel versions are just that, I mean, they're just better. But to give clarification, if you don't know what these cards are, this is the EB01 Chopper Blocker. This is EB01 Brook, right? The one that is so expensive when we talked about on this channel. This is the OP01 1-drop Perona that restacks your top 5. This is the 4-cost Urog. How do you pronounce him? This is the 3-drop Black Maria that just dominated Red Purple Law. This is the 1-drop Nami, the new OP09 one that has that blue Searcher event that's really good in Nami. And this is the OP09 Nico Olivia, I believe her name is. The 2K 1-drop that gives like a Nico Robin leader plus 3,000, I believe. Now, these cards in Japan are coming in these promotional packs, but we do know a couple things. This Urog is coming in a tournament in the future. I believe this Olivia is as well. We also know that this Perona is like a top player pack Perona. And is this Black Maria part of the like ladies pre-order? I ordered this from Target, I believe. Yeah, we know that the Black Maria is coming in this illustration box. There's 2 different boxes. There's, I think, Yamato, Boa, Black Maria, and I can't remember who the 4th person is that's in the other box. There's 2 different boxes, but the Black Maria is coming in this. So, although I don't think we know yet where the Nami, Brook, and Chopper are coming from, we do know that they are probably more than likely, hopefully, going to come eventually. And the EB01 Brook is huge. This is also an incredible alternate art. I think this is the same illustrator that did the TV promo Ryuma, or the DVD promo. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a set of sleeves, I think, for that Nami. Another great illustration. But yeah, just want to make that clear to people that this is an event that's going on in Japan only, but some of these cards are being scattered in different English variations and methods. So it's reason to believe that we're going to get these other two, or three, I guess I should say, in the future. Don't know exactly when. Maybe by the time this video comes out, it comes out of where we're going to get it. But for now, that's that. There's also an event in Japan called an exchange meeting. I believe, and I could be wrong about this because I'm not in Japan, these exchange meetings are about introducing to the game. I think they're very much like the welcome events of like trying to get new players in and teaching them. This is a promo that they're giving out in January, February, this Robin right here. And then there's going to be a Charlotte Smoothie coming out in March and April if you attend these exchange events. They also talked about the standard battles, which are a popular tournament type over in Japan. You may see them a lot of times, and results from them, they happen quite frequently. From January to February, we're getting the Rebecca, right? Because I think I've already seen people getting Rebecca's. And then from March to May, they're going to have a Zoro. I believe that this Zoro is from OP10. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, don't quote me on that. I feel like I heard them say OP10 Zoro, but I may be wrong. It's going to be a Zoro though. And these cards, if you do not know, is like prizing, right? Basically like winner cards in a sense. Like if you get like a certain placement in these standard battles, you get these prize cards. These prize cards also usually come to us in tournament packs in the rest of the world. So like the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head are like Kaya and Charlotte Pudding and the Ace, right? Like those three were all standard battle prize cards that eventually made their way into our tournament packs. So expect to see Rebecca and Zoro in the distant future. And then finally for the random stuff, they did talk about the 2024 Japan Final Championships, right? This determines the representatives for the World Championships happening in March. The Japan Final Championships are going to be happening on February 9th. So they are going to be doing a live stream for this as they've done in years past. I think the one last year was the one that Uta won. If you remember that on my channel, it's honestly like my most viewed video. So you probably do remember it. But we will cover this championship when it happens, provide you unique English commentary for, you know, all of you, because I believe it's going to be EB02. I think EB02 is going to be in this because EB02 releases in January in Japan. So this is going to be like a one-time format event before Worlds, but it's going to be really cool, really exciting because there's a lot of cool stuff in EB02 that now we're going to be talking about. Speaking of, now I did mention that EB02 is releasing in Japan on January 25th. So once that comes out, then they'll be legal, and they'll be legal for the Japan Championships. In the future, we'll go over like EB02 meta tier list, stuff like that, predictions, maybe even some deck lists, especially with the new reveals and things like that. Don't worry, I gotcha. One thing that they did announce though, which I thought was super interesting. If you don't remember, EB02 had like 26 or 29 or whatever SPs in the set. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, what are all of the SPs going to be? Are they going to be reprints of EB01 cards? Oh my gosh. There was a lot of speculation on it. They announced what those 26 SPs are going to be, and they're actually going to be reprints of a lot of different leaders, which is interesting of a choice. Here are all the leaders that they're going to be using within it. I believe this is all of them, maybe outside of Sakazuki. Oh yeah, so I guess Sakazuki is not supposed to be in there, but every other leader is from EB01, no, from OP05 onwards. But they're not just reprinting them in these standard ways. They announced that all of these SP leaders are going to be gold foiling, right? Just like in the collection binders with the ST13 starter decks and the first starter deck leaders, they're going to put this in EB02, which is kind of crazy and I think is a conversation for another day. They also talked about how this Dawn is going to be the Dawn in EB02, which I think is super curious because, correct me if I'm wrong, but we already have this Dawn in English. I think it was in like was it a Devil Fruit collection? Like the first Devil Fruit collection or something like that? I think it was in an English exclusive product. And so now it's coming in Japanese. So who knows if it's going to stay that way when we get it in English, or if it's going to change and adjust to something else. No idea at this point, but I thought it was super intriguing that this was revealed to be the Dawn of EB02, and I think it's something to note. We also found out the manga rare in EB02, which is the 6-drop Luffy that's coming in this. Now, I will mention real quick what the translation is. 6 cost 7,000 power, water 7 Straw Hat Crew character. Purple. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn, this character gains Rush. And then when attacking once per turn, if you return 2 of your active Dawn to your Dawn deck, you set the character as active. Then you add the top card of your life to your hand, which I think we knew about this card. I think this card was revealed previously, but I still wanted to mention it anyway because I didn't remember what it did when I first saw this manga rare. But a really interesting card. It kind of sucks though that you have to return 2 active Dawn instead of just any Dawn on the field. But either way, that's the manga rare. Gear 2 Luffy, I think it is. A lot of people actually disappointed, I think, with this manga rare, which I don't mind. I think it's cool. It's an iconic pose, right? A gear. We also got a ton of alternate arts from EB02 revealed. I'm going to go through these translations one by one, just very quickly. Not going to stay on them too long, but just to let you know what they are. 6 cost 7,000 power, Yamato, Land of Wano. Activate main once per turn. If your leader has the Land of Wano type or is ace, you give 1 rested Dawn to your leader, then this character gains Rush during the turn. Could be very interesting. Now, this is a 3 cost 2,000 power, 1k counter Vivi from Alabasta. On play, if your leader is multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in hand, draw 2 cards. Could be a nice option for the Vivi deck or any future potential Alabasta leader. You got Vegapunk, 5 costs 0 power, 1k counter, Egghead Scientist. It is a blocker with an on play of looking at the top 5 of your deck, play up to 1 5 cost or lower scientist type character card, place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and if your opponent has 2 characters or less, you discard 1 card from your hand. Or discard 1 card from your deck. I think it's from hand. I actually don't know if anybody wants to confirm in the comments. The translations, at least on OnePieceTopDecks.com, says discard 1 card. I assume it's from your hand, but either way, could be a really cool card in Vegapunk, right? Getting a blocker out, being able to cheat, and then it has a trigger of draw 1 card as well. So it's something that you can use with the Vegapunk leader effect. This is also Sanji and Charlotte Pudding, which, by the way, can we talk about this alternate art? I love this alternate art. 5 cost 7,000 power, Straw Hat Crew, Big Mom Pirates. During your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards are returned to your Dawn deck, set up 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active, and then on play, if your number of Dawn cards are equal or less than your opponent, draw 1 card. Could be a really nice card for a variety of decks, right? Being both Straw Hat Crew and Big Mom Pirates. We got Sengoku in here, 7 cost 7,000 power Navy, counter 1,000 blocker, with an on play of playing up to 1 black Navy type character with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. I've heard a lot of people talk about this card. I've heard this card is pretty good, and I would agree as well. There's a lot of interesting things that you can do in a couple different decks, being able to cheat out different characters. Thankfully, it says Black Navy type, though, so you can't do Rebecca, Spandine, Lucci kind of combo. That'd be insane. But you can do Sengoku, Spandine, Lucci, or Sengoku, Lucci, which could be interesting. This Arlong, which, by the way, the regular art of Arlong looks good, and this alternate art also looks insane. This card is so cool. 3 cost 4,000 power, Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirate. So 3 different typings on that. Has an on play of if your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type, give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader, then up to 1 of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less. Cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's almost like another way of saying character can't attack, but it also takes out like maybe the 1-drop body searcher, right? Things that get rested in order to use a specific effect. Von Augur, right? Doc Q. There's so many different cards that this could utilize. It's looks pretty good in Kuro, right? I've actually watched some gameplay with it in Kuro decks for EB02. Could be really interesting. 10 cost Anel. This card is broken if you've seen about it talked on Twitter. 10 cost 11,000 power. Sky Island yellow character. If your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gains rush, but also has a when attacking effect. You may trash one card from your hand. If your life has one or less cards, place up to one card from the top of your deck onto your life, then give this character plus 1,000 for the turn. So if you're in a Nell deck and you like hovering at one life left, right, you can gain a life with this rush card and be a 12,000 power rush character. Competing with stuff like Shanks. Well, Shanks would put you back at 11,000 because of the minus 1,000 on the 10 drop, but still, this card's crazy, dude. You've also got the 7 drop Jewelry Bonnie, which is going to look really good in a Jewelry Bonnie deck. 7 cost 7,000 power Supernova and Bonnie Pirates with a 1k counter. On play, up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Then at the end of the turn, set up to one of your Dawn cards as active. So gives Jewelry Bonnie the deck in out on kind of the awkward 7-8 Dawn turn, right? You're not just playing Hody Jones. You actually have something else that you can do with it. Going to be really, really nice for the deck. And then the Luffy, which we just talked about. This is the secret rare. This is the alternate art secret rare, not the manga rare. So yeah, I'm not going to go over that card again, but an alternate art was revealed of it. They also showed off this Nami alternate. Now we've seen this Nami card before it revealed in EB02. I think was one of the first ones revealed in EB02, but just want to go over it real quick as well. It's a green rare, 1 cost 2,000 power 1k counter. It's basically a top 5 on play. Look for a Straw Hat Crew card that's not Nami and put it in your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Going to be really nice. Replaces that 2 drop that we saw in EB or OP03, I'm sorry, but I think that one searched for East Blue cards, so this is just a different searcher. So now we're going to talk about some different OP11 reveals. Now I already kind of touched on OP11 because of the Zeus reveal, right, in that pre-order that happened. There were a couple other things that I do want to point out on and touch on real quick in this video because they did talk about it in the live stream, right? They did talk about the Zeus. They did talk about how Japan has the pre-order for the Zeus, but I didn't feel like it was worth talking about. We did get the release date of OP11. It's going to be March 1st for anyone who is curious. We did get the pack art of this product, right? This is going to be the pack art. It's going to be based around Whole Cake Island. So with Katakuri here on the face, expect a probably broken Katakuri card coming. That's just a guess. There was also 3 new leaders revealed for OP11, so we're going to go through them one by one and show you them. This first one is Shirahoshi, green, yellow, 5 life, 5,000 power Merfolk and Fishman Island. The first thing about this Shirahoshi is this leader cannot attack, so it's a new installment of the leaders that can't attack series that they do. Happens every once in a while. Has an activate main once per turn. You may rest one of your Dawn and flip the top card of your life face up. If you do, you may play from your hand up to 1 character card with a Sea King type or up to 1 Megalo character card with a cost equal to or less than the total Dawn on your board. So we'll see how I think this is the worst of the 3, but I mean, who knows? You get to cheat out characters, right? I mean, like for 1 Dawn on like a 5 Dawn turn, you can rest 1 Dawn, flip over your top life, and then play a 5 cost character and play a 4 cost character on top of that with the rest of your Dawn. Doesn't seem awful. I'm just, with the typings and the restrictions on what you can actually play, I'm not sold on this yet, but there could be some interesting combos. Interesting that it's green yellow when we just got a green yellow leader in the Trafalgar Law, but anyways, whatever. Now Jinbei is going to be getting his first leader card. He is a 5,000 power green Fishman Straw Hat Crew, 5 life, has an end of turn leader effect. If you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type character cards and up to one Dawn as active. So it's kind of similar to Rosinante in a sense that you have an end of turn X amount or less cards in hand type of effect, but this one is restanding characters and also a Dawn as active. Could be really nice. I mean, you might see some different one cost events that are going to be in the Fishman group, right? Because it looks like that green in OP11 is going to be geared around like Fishmen and Merfolk types, having a Shirahoshi and also a Jinbei leader. So we got some Fishman Pirates type cards previously when Hody Jones was in OP06. So, I mean, who knows? This deck can play Hody Jones, and if you can play Hody Jones, you're not an awful deck. Well, it might be bad. Now, this is the one that people are most excited about heading into OP11. There's already been so much noise on this, and even a deck profile video and gameplay of this leader. Very cool. Highly recommend watching it. One of my favorite Japanese YouTube channels. Blue, purple, 3 life, 6,000 power. So we're getting a new installment of 3 life, 6,000 power leaders, right? Similar to the starter deck 10 red, purple Luffy. He is Straw Hat Crew, by the way. Has one single effect on this card. You may activate this effect at the start of your turn. So specifically what this happens if you're going through the different phases, this is before your draw phase in your turn. Before your dawn phase, before your draw phase, this happens at the very beginning. I think even before your refresh phase. If you have 8 or more Dawn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal one Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This is a really good leader. I think especially at this point, it's easily the best leader of the set that we know of at this point. And there is a lot of cool things that you can do, especially when you talk about 9 cost Sanji, right? A card that was super popularized with Eggman, Vampire Gaming, those people in Red Blue Marco. I'm going to reference a video from EB02, I think is how you pronounce it. I have no idea. I'm so sorry, man. I love you. You make great videos, but I'll never get it right. There was a lot of misinformation about this leader and just like a simple mistranslation kind of thing, like no harm or anything like that. He made a really good video earlier today talking about the leader, talking about potential combos and also clarifying a lot of things about this leader. I'll link this video in the description below. I'm not going to talk about this leader too much more because he nails it. He nails it on the head, the different things that you want to talk about with this leader, and he does a great job with it. And he deserves the subscription and views, so make sure to subscribe. There's also a new card typing that's going to be happening through OP11 through 14, right? So 4 sets basically, unless they add something in there. But for at least those sets, we're going to be getting a new set of rarity on cards. They're like super SPs basically. These are going to be alternate arts that are going to be in the set, and they're going to have 2 versions, all being reprinted cards of previous ones. This being the 10 drop Luffy that like skips a turn, you know, basically adds you a turn. There's going to be this like a special hollow foiling on this card. That's one of the versions. And then the other one is going to be a gold version of that with a couple more colors inserted, I feel like. I think the gold one is much more rare. This is pretty much reminiscent of like the gold manga Roger, essentially, in OP09. Except this is kind of like a step different in there. Because we already know that there's going to be a manga rare in OP11. But now we've got this guy. This is crazy. This is cool. I love this art, by the way. This art is going to be so good, and it's going to be such a chase card for so many people, including myself. But we'll just have to see if I pull it. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the regionals that are happening at the start of the 2025-26 season. The first event is technically before Worlds. It's going to be the One Piece Day. There was a lot of information about One Piece Day that's been going around lately. Going to be really, really cool in Dallas, Texas. So the first thing that we should talk about in here is in this, there are different types of tickets that you can get. For the One Piece Day celebration, there's 2 different tickets for the 2 different days. So you need to get both tickets if you want to go and play in the tournament. There's also going to be a general entry window that happens from January 19th through March 6th. And I think you register that on TCG Plus. But again, for the actual tournaments that are happening on One Piece Day in that Dallas event, there are 2 different links for the 2 different days, so get both if you plan on competing in both. Before we get more into One Piece Day, let's talk a little bit more about the different events because there's some other information in regards to this. They're also having some different events coming soon in Europe. Latin America has a couple different events, and then Oceania has one as well. For the March events, the signups are going to be January 12th in North America at 9 a.m. Central Time. That is 10 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Hopefully I cleared you all. And then also here's the other times for the other different regions for the application of these different events. The pricing. For participating, you're going to get a variety of things. The booster packs, you're also going to get an event pack, right? Event pack 6 is going to have these 4 promos inside of it. We got the Lim promo, right? Very popular in OP10 Lim, a viable option. Glad to be able to get this promo. We're going to get this ulti as well. If you've seen me on Twitter talk about this ulti, I love this ulti for like OP08 King. The Shonen Jump promo Shanks. This was in the combination with the 7 cost buggy. The 7 cost buggy though is not in this, so Shanks is going to be in this, Buggy is not. We still don't know where Buggy is. And then also this carrot blocker. It's a 2-drop carrot minx blocker. Play it in carrot, I guess. Is this carrot? I don't know fully the lore of One Piece, and I just realized that this carrot is also the same as the leader carrot. She must have like some power up or devil version. I don't know. Also for participating, you're going to get these offline regional participation packs. We talked about the Rogue. That was part of that by PRB01 promotion stuff, and also the Nico Olivia, which also this alternate art looks so good. Courtesy more of OP10 Lim, we get the new promo Dio, which is going to be really nice. Really cool 2K within the Odyssey type deck. And you also get an alternate art of the Spandine. I think the Spandine was also a part of that Japan storage box, like random thing. So going to be really cool to get that in here. Seems odd placement as well though. These storage box arts feel like they're so scattered. When the event has over 1,024 players, top 512 is going to get another one of those volume 6 packs. That's this right here. Top 256 when the event has 512 or more is going to get one of these. Top 128 is also going to get another one of these, plus a gold black dawn, and also a promotional sleeve Sanji. Now, I think those sleeves, based on the name, are this one right here. These like different Jolly Roger sleeves that we've seen in these different various events lately. I think this is the Sanji sleeves that we'll get. I could be wrong on that. We're going to get a regional alternate art card in top 64 that hasn't been finalized yet or revealed. Another one for top 32, top 16, another gold black dawn in there. And top 16 for North America and Europe will get invites to the nationals, I believe, and then regionals with 800 or more players will get top 32 invites. So if they keep like the same tournament structure, day 2, everybody in top 32, if you have 800 or more players, will get top 32 invites. Top 8 gets another alternate card and also a gold dawn, and everybody in top 8 gets the serialized aces. Going to be really, really nice. Second place gets a playmat, and then first place gets the champion playmat, the champion card. Also another set of these Sanji's sleeves. Might be different Sanji sleeves. I don't know. It doesn't say volume 2 on it. But weird that you get this like twice, I think. I feel like it'd be cool if they gave another Jolly Roger, but I digress. So that's all of these tournaments that are happening that you can sign up for soon, happening in March. Now, going to the actual One Piece Day event in Dallas. Again, if you want to sign up for the tournaments, there's 2 different days, 2 different links, 2 different signups that you need to do. And then for general admission, it's just going to be on TCG Plus that you can just sign up. There's going to be a lot of cool things in here, including this stage exhibition with different guests of Hiroshi Kitadani and Maki Otsuki that are going to be doing the live music special performances and talks and stuff with the cast. Pretty typical of what they do, I feel like, the last couple big events. There's also going to be different giveaways and available products. So attendees, if you enter the venue, will get this Monkey D. Luffy One Piece Day promo. I think this is pretty much the same as the One Piece Day promo that they gave out in Japan, right? With all the Luffys and the different gears on them and stuff like that. Very, very cool card. Absolutely love this. It's a reprint of the 10 drop from the starter deck 10. You will also get this 5-cost Zoro, this 5-cost from OP07. Very, very cool looking. It's not like a incredible card, right? That's super viable, but in my opinion, this art looks so good, right? In his egghead outfit with his different swords and also the green goo, I like calling it. I think it's like flames, but anyways. You also, what most people are excited about is you get the Auto Utadon in this. This is very, very cool in my opinion. I know a lot of people that were super stoked to get these in Japan and paid a pretty penny for these in Japan, but if you just attend the event, you're gonna get one of these done, these Auto and Utadon. So if you're gonna be able to attend, if you don't want to play in the tournament, you could just do the general admission, but everybody who attends this event gets it as long as they enter the venue. But that's not the only thing that you can get from this event for attending. There's also going to be an exclusive product, Illustration Box EX. Now, product and the illustration may differ, right? Usually it doesn't. Gonna MSRP for $20, so you can get this at the venue for $20. Who knows if it's gonna have these different packs in them? Probably will. But just like the illustration boxes that we saw on Target that I showed earlier, it's just another version but exclusive to One Piece Day in Dallas. This is going to have the Jewelry Bonnie and Rob Lucci that we saw. I believe both of these were in the Japan storage box randoms that we got. And another thing to note about this, cash will not be an option for payment at the venue. It's card and contactless payment only. And that's how you pay, but how to purchase, it's going to be available on the site. So before you go over there, if you want this, go to this link and purchase on the pre-registration. I think it's going to be similar to like, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's going to be similar to like how at Nationals, the first year that they had it, where they delayed it like 6 hours, you had to buy the playmat before the event and then you picked up the playmat at the venue. I think this is going to be very similar. Don't quote me on that. But to my understanding of how this is laid out, that's what it's going to do. And that's all I saw. Again, if you saw more things that I didn't mention in this video, please leave in the comments below. Let me know about it. Link anything you need to in order to let everybody know the information. I want this to be somewhere where people could go to get all the information from this event. So if you got to add on to it, feel free as well. I'll try to clarify any questions that you may have as well in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of this, please like, comment, and subscribe to help me get closer to doing this full time and quit my job so that I can get these videos out a lot earlier. I know I'm still far away from that, but it's a dream. Anyways, thank you again so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope to see you again soon.